All right, it's the next day. I'm getting a late start today. It's already almost 1:30 in the afternoon. I had a ton of things to do this morning. I'll see if I can fix the audio. There was a lot of weird sounds coming out of it, so it is what it is. I'll see if I can fix it today. So let me see where I left off. All right, so I loosened I exposed all the body mount bolts. 1, 2, 3, 4. I did that. This is the cover, and oh, here we go. I just need to loosen the two 10 millimeter nuts on each side, then go underneath. This is the frame. I need to find the driver's side parking brake cable, and it says just to remove the bolts from the cable and the cross member. Okay, so remove that one, then remove the fuel line, brake brackets, loosen the fuel filler gas cap. It says remove fuel filler cap, and there's a clamp underneath here for the fuel filler hose itself. But I'm gonna try something different. There is a bracket on the, where is it? That's more bracket. Here, this is the one. This is the bracket. I'm just gonna loosen that and I'm gonna see what happens. So let me take care of all this and let me see if I can find it. I don't know if you guys can see, but that's the 10 or 12 millimeter nut that's holding the brake bracket on. I need to remove that on both sides. So let me go underneath the truck and see if I can find the other ones. Okay, so it looks like I need to remove that 12 millimeter there. Fuel line. Oh, I think this bracket here. I think that one up there. Where else is there? Oh, there it is. That one there. And that one there. All right, so let me remove everything, and I'll be right back and we'll see how far I get. So I'll be back. Okay, so let me show you where I got so far. I did take off the gas cap. And let me go underneath. So this one I took off. I just put it here just so I wouldn't lose it. There was the brake lines that was here. Parking brake line there, parking brake line on the other side. This one did not have a bolt holding it. It was just like I don't know, some kind of clip thing. So I just clipped that off. And there was another one here. So I took that off. Then I found this is the driver's side up here, right there. I don't know if you can see it, but it's in there. Right in there someplace. Here, these two guys. The lighting is bad. There you go. So those are all off. I just stuck it in there so I wouldn't lose it. Then next, you're supposed to come back here. Took out the license plate bulb on both sides. This is the passenger side, so you're supposed to loosen all this. I just popped the clips off. So loosen that, pop those off. I'm gonna pop all these guys, that clip off. And I assume I have to pop off the ones on the driver's side, so I'll take care of all of those. Okay, let me see what's next. Where am I? Okay, so those are all off. That's off. Loosen. I did not take off the clamp around the hose, the vent hose, so I'm going to leave that. Those are the two bolts that I showed you guys earlier for the brackets on the fuel line and the filler and whatever. This is the passenger side frame that we looked at for the rear wiring harness. This is the license plate lights. disconnect that. So basically now it says to take off the rear bumper. I'm gonna skip all that. I have a different plan. So I'm not gonna take off the bumper like how everybody does. It's a pain in the ass and it looks really ugly when you're done. So what I'm gonna do next is, well, it looks like it says to grab the insulation kit. Loosen but do not remove the cab bolts on the driver's side. Okay, so I'm going to loosen all those. First I'm going to loosen the bolts on the passenger side, then I'll do the driver's side. So I'm going to do a little different. Let's see, number of cab bolts may vary. Remove the nut washer. Okay, basically you're going to take everything off, and then be sure to read all this stuff. And then it tells you about the front bolts and washer, mid bolt and washer, rear bolt and washer, and these are all the captive washers. So basically we need to take the stock bolts off but use the captive washers. So there's going to be some grinding we need to do and pounding to get the stock captive. And when it's time, I'll show you how we're gonna take the stock bolts off and grind off to retain those captive washers. Position the hydraulic jack block on the passenger side, cab under the body. Okay, blocks, let's see, 2-inch bushing on the front support cab. Oh, okay. And this is pretty much we're gonna be inserting. So okay, so I'm gonna loosen the bolts on the passenger side, then I'm gonna take off the bolts on the driver's side, put my jack underneath, lift it up. That way I can insert the spacer for the steering column, and that should be up to page 12. So let me go do all that. I'll be back again. All right, change of plan. For this part, I guess it's best I will follow the directions and loosen the passenger side, loosen the driver's side, fully take off the passenger side and insert the blocks on the passenger side. So I'm gonna do that now, and then once again I'll be back. All right, not so bad. I loosened the rear cab and the front part by the driver, and the very front by the radiator core support. Then I took off the passenger side. Took off the front cab mount and the rear cab mount. Now the instructions say to grab a piece of wood. I have a 4x4 post that I picked up a long time ago, and I'm gonna look for someplace safe to lift up the truck. I'm thinking right here. All right, let me grab my jack and my piece of wood, and again I'll be back. And now the moment of truth. I have my wood with my jack ready, and just a little note, the rears have the 3-inch bigger ones, the front radiator support has a smaller little 2-inch one. On the 2016s I did have to loosen this and expose this little wiring system. That, and I did decide to loosen there's a power steering bracket in here. I don't know if you guys can see. And I loosened the two front coolers, two front bolts for the power steering cooler. All right, moment of truth, time to jack it up, insert the blocks and see what happens. Always be sure to check all your lines and wires and everything. all the spacers are in. Next step, so some of these are the ones we're gonna need to keep, these retainers. So you're gonna have to pound these off. The ones that have the screw, there's gonna be a screw type in here. The screw ones will need to be ground down with a 4.5 inch disc, cutting disc. These I can just pound and it'll come right out. So let me remove all of these and I'll show you what they look like. Okay, so here's the two types of bolts you're gonna find. There's this one with these little knurlings. So you just put this in a socket or something, pound it out, and you're gonna keep this retaining nut. The other type is gonna have a screw. I'm gonna take my flapper disc, grind down the screw threads a little. So you're gonna grind this down so it can slide out. Okay, so let me do that. I'll be back. Well, I don't know if you guys can see me, but I am in a world of, you know what. Anyway, to tell you guys what happened, so I put the pucks in, or the spacers, right? The front core support, the mid, and the rear. Then I pounded out the captive washers, okay? Because you're supposed to reuse the captive washers. Then it says to use the supplied bolts for the new bolt systems. The front is 190 millimeters. That comes out to 7.48 inches. The middle and the rear is 180 millimeters, which comes out to 7.08 or something like that. Basically 7 inches. The very front radiator core supports 7.5. Okay, great. So I measured the bolts. 2 of them are wrong. Damn. So what would you guys do in this situation? I don't know. Maybe you can try call the manufacturer. I have no idea. But luckily, I have Daryl. I called him and said, hey, something is screwed up. The front bolt is a 1/2 inch short. What am I gonna do? He said, hey, I have the grade 8 bolt for you. Come and get it. So that's how I'm gonna solve this issue now. I'm driving to his shop. It's a good thing he only lives 5 minutes from my house, so I'm gonna drive to his shop and get the bolt. If you do this yourself, I would, now that I ran into the problem, and that's the whole purpose of my videos. What in the world was that? Oh, have you ever seen this ugly black Subaru? Oh my God, that was hideous. Anyway, sorry. If you do use this kit, I think this is from Performance Accessories or something, and I had the part number listed in the very beginning. Just be aware that there is a 95% chance that you will have to change or get longer bolts for the front. The bolts that it comes supplied with is only 7 inches. And you need at least 7.5. So do yourself a favor, go out. Doesn't matter about the nut, because you're gonna use your own nut and bolt. Go out, find a 7.5 or even 8 inch bolt, grade 8, and that'll solve your problems. So I'm flying it out to Daryl's now. I'll be back again. All right, I'm back home. Thanks to Daryl, who saved my life on this project. It's a known problem. According to Daryl, it's very known, and he's complained to the company many times and nothing ever gets done. So I'll try to write a very nice email to them and tell them that the bolts, the supplied hardware, is incorrect. It's wrong. And we'll see what they say. So if you plan on doing this yourself, you need 7 3/4 or 8 inch grade 8 bolts for the front. They also will short you a bolt for the spacer for the steering. Daryl had that and he gave that to me also. Just be aware, if you're gonna do this on your own, you're gonna run into these problems. I am tired as hell for now. I'm gonna leave the truck halfway done like this. Okay, and I will continue this project tomorrow. I am dead tired already. It's almost 6 o'clock. It's been a long day once again. Hopefully tomorrow I should be able to finish it or come pretty damn close to finishing it. So it looks like you guys got to come back for part 3. And I will see you guys tomorrow on part 3. So thanks for sticking around. See you guys on my next project, which is tomorrow.